Okay, ready? You gotta come on up. Come on up. You gotta sit next to baby Corgi. Come on. Good girl. Come on up, bud. Go on, up. On the couch. Hello, and welcome to actual episode 38 of the Once Upon a Corgi podcast. Are you that mad about it, Audrey? Are you that excited? No, she's mad because Iron has a ball. We are a crafty puppy podcast coming to you from the southwest corner of Connecticut. I'm your host, Gabby. You can find me everywhere online as Gabagales, and you can find all my hand-dyed yarn and fiber at Once Upon a Corgi, both on Instagram and Ravelry. You can find the show notes for this and some other episodes under the Once Upon a Corgi podcast group on Ravelry in the groups tab. And you can find all my hand-dyed yarn and fiber at uponacorgi.com. That was not the smoothest intro. I apologize. Thank you so much to everybody who is a returning viewer, and hello and welcome to all new viewers. Welcome to the new schedule. They're waiting for me to throw the ball. You gotta do it quietly. That's not quietly. Yep, it is May 7th, Sunday afternoon, and we are recording this whilst some yarn is setting on the stove, and then we're gonna go up and meet Jake at his friend's apartment because he is returning from Cigar Fest this weekend. Yay! If nobody knows what Cigar Fest is, which I don't think a lot of people do, it is essentially it's like Stitches, but for cigars and whiskey. I think that's the best way for people to understand. He's been doing it for the past, I want to say, 8 or 9 years, so it's his weekend. But this is not a Cigar Fest podcast, this is a Nitty podcast, and we have a couple announcements. The Beauty and the Beast Cal, which I'm hosting with the wonderful Tanya from the Tea Knit Pearl podcast, is ending May 26th. So finish your projects up to the best of your ability and get them in the FO thread. There is one in each of our groups, and you can get a chance to win some of the wonderful prizes that we have lined up. I wrote show notes. Silly me. Thinking I can do this without show notes. What's my hair? Like, why? I need to cut my bangs. And I announced at the Not Quite 38 episode about the Kingdom Fiber and Fleeceworks giveaway. I'm going to extend that until next week. So you have, sorry, T-burps? More than 4 days to enter that giveaway, and that is for a beautiful bundle of pencil roving in the Emerald City colorway, which is sitting on my desk, so I did not bring it into the living room. Yes. I figured this was the best setup so you could get some dog action, and I can still have some yarny things because this is my skein winder and it doesn't fit anywhere else in the house. So this will show you it's a yarn podcast. God, what was I saying? Alright, well, that's really it for announcements, I think. Right, Buffalo? Oh god, you need a bath so bad. So let's get into the nitty-gritty. I don't remember if I showed these to you before, so I'm going to show you again. I think I have 2 finished objects. Also, I don't know where my sock blockers are. They're still packed up from Connecticut Sheep and Wool. I have finished my Macron socks by Franco Fee Knits. No ends have been woven in. And these are in Akara yarn in the Blueberry Macron colorway. I have 2 socks. They are Elfine, and I love them. They're so squishy. Oh, they're so squishy. I'm going to have a ends weaving in party at my Saturday knit group in a couple weeks, so I'm going to bring all my socks for the year so far and weave them in. And I did the mini heel flap and gusset short row heel by Mina Phillip, except I forgot what row I was on, so I have this fun pearl ridge in the back of a heel. It's fine. I'll be fine. Now I just know which is my right or left. There it is. It's beautiful. But I am thoroughly enjoying that heel pattern. I think it's one of my new favorites because it does give you that little bit of a extra room in your heel, which I think I need. I'm not sure. I'm not one to like analyze my socks too hard after I make them. If they don't fit, I just wear them anyway, unless they're too big. So I guess I'm a pretty laid back sock wearer. So these are done. These are pair number 5 for my box of socks. So I am ahead of schedule because we also have another pair of finished socks. And this is in my Stitching Plaza Corgi bag. I love it. And these are my No One Knits Like Gaston socks. And you're saying, but Gabby, you still have needles in these. That's because I have to Kitchener the heels, and I just haven't. But I'm counting them as finished. So there. So I did what am I supposed to tell you? Thank you, Audrey. They are vanilla socks with a right twist 2x2 purled 2x2 cabled rib, and I did a true cut afterthought heel. And this one I'm really proud of because I got the stripes to line up really well. And then this one has a little bit of a funky one going on, but I'm not too mad about that. They were knit on my 2.25 millimeter Hayas, not interchangeable. They were also not knit concurrently because it was a gobstopper. So this is what I have left. So definitely enough to put in a blanket, maybe do like some scrappy striped shorty socks for summer. So I just had to sit down and Kitchener these guys, which I think I will do tomorrow morning over breakfast because it shouldn't take me too long. What did I do? I didn't do an afterthought heel pattern. I really do want to try Susan B. Anthony's. That's wrong. Damn it. I really do want to try the smooth operator sock pattern, but I didn't follow a pattern. I cut the yarn, I picked up the stitches, and then I just did a wedge toe for my heel. I'm very excited for these socks. So this is pair number 6 for my box of socks. It's happening, guys. I think I can do it. I think I got this. And those are my FOs. That's what I've done. I feel like I haven't gotten a lot done on projects because I keep bouncing between them. But that is sock number 6 for the box of socks, and I think this will be my last year of doing the box of socks. I'm very excited to hopefully beat it, knock on wood. I don't think that's real wood. Knock on wood. No, that was me. God, I hate dogs. But I don't need 36 pairs of socks in 2 years, so... Audrey, you're being quite rude. Come on. Come on up. And that leads us into whips. Keeping with the sock theme, I cast on another sock because I didn't have a vanilla sock to walk around stitches or, apparently I thought I'd have idle time at Connecticut Sheep and Wool to just knit. So I cast on a vanilla sock, and this is in my Towers Over the Thames colorway on the penny base, and I'm using my 2.25 millimeter Chowgu red lace. It's just a plain vanilla sock, and I can't stop just stopping and looking at this yarn. Like, this is my favorite stitch. That one right there. Can you see him? He's my favorite. I'm in love with this colorway. I'm definitely gonna be dyeing this up again very soon. I love it. I'm at the part where I need a heel. I haven't decided if I want to do a contrasting heel or not. I think I do. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try and throw that in tonight before we go to the movies. So I'll probably just do a Fish Lips Kiss heel because that's real quick and easy. Maybe I'll just throw in an afterthought heel. I don't know. I wish we had self-driving cars so I could knit while my car drove. It's 2017, guys. Get on it. Come on. I love it. I can't wait. I don't know what I'm waiting for, but I can't wait for it. And I just did a 1x1 twisted rib, and it is living in my Good to Be a Girl project bag. It was living in my Corgi bag, but then I had to throw it in this guy because he's a wonderful bag, but he's not a very good purse bag. So I threw it in here to go into my purse. I forgot why. Oh, I went out to dinner with some friends and I needed to bring my knitting. I might even cast on a new sock for the movies tonight. I haven't decided. I have a Gales Art sock blank sitting on my desk with needles next to a Notions pouch, and I think I'm gonna make that the Grand Central socks. But that's not very good movie knitting. I'm looking at it over there. Because I do want to knit with that sock blank, and I do really want to knit those socks. Choices. The difficulties of knitting. Am I missing? Nope, I'm not. And our last sock whip is my pair of Mercury socks that I'm knitting for Jake out of Narwhal Needleworks, the Wanderers colorway on their tweed base. And I'm knitting these concurrently on 2.25 Knit Pro Zings. Got my burrito stitch marker in hopes that it will inspire me to knit faster. And I've started the gusset decreases on the second sock. So the first one is in the bottom of my Aran Lane bag. I don't think you can see it. Probably not. But it's buried down there and it's keeping my yarn from getting tangled, so I'm not going to take it out. And I'm doing a, it's supposed to be a double gusset decrease, so you do the decreases on the bottom of the foot, but I have yet to do it correctly. Like, they fit, I just end up decreasing all the stitches in one V instead of two. I'm not sure how. One day I will read the directions to this pattern and follow them perhaps, but that is not today. So, yep, that's what I've been working on while dyeing today, and I've been trying to pick them up since I'm now a month ahead of schedule for the box of socks. I really want to put in the time to get these done because these will be good. He can still wear them to work and not sweat to death since it is such a nice, lovely lace pattern. And I really want to cast on his bright pink socks. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the last episode to see, because it's amazing. Yep, and that's living in my Aran Lane bag. Our next group of knitting projects, I feel like I haven't talked to you guys in a while, so I don't know what I've shown you before, is the Vortex Shawl by Charlotte from the Charlotte and Gus podcast. It is out of my La Bien-Aimée merino singles that I bought while in Paris, and when I knit on it I just think about that little street and grow sad because I'm not there, but happy because I went. And I have finished the middle section, which is this giant yellow bit, which is Yellow Brick Road, and these are all her merino singles. The front gray bluey bit is Sosu, and then the brown is Undergrowth, and I've stumbled across my first or second or third mistake in the shawl. Not in the pattern, in my knitting. Somehow I didn't have enough stitches when I started the garter bit, so now I don't have enough stitches at the end, so I have to fudge one stitch somewhere. So I'm tinking back. I already did the setup rows and brioche, so I'm gonna tink back till just the yellow bit. I think fudge the stitches in the yellow and then redo the setup rows. I think that's my best bet instead of trying to fudge brioche, because I'm like 3 stitches. What was I off? 4, 5, 6. I was off 7 stitches overall. Yeah, I think I decreased too many times on before. Maybe I didn't increase enough. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what I did. I really don't. I did something wrong somewhere. I mean, it's not like a blaring mistake. I think maybe I just missed a repeat. But I'm 7 stitches short on the side that should have like 75 stitches. So I'm just gonna make them up as I go. That's the plan. But I'm in the process of tinking back, and then I got tired, so I decided to not try and tink brioche while sleepy. But I'm so excited for this to be finished. It's beautiful. I don't know if you can tell how much I love this color yellow, but I love it so much. Look, I'm not even, oops. I hope this is the caption, because now it just looks like I have a shawl. Haha! No, damn it. This is, see, look, it matches. I love this color. Bubble ups, I want everything in this color. I almost have everything in this color. I almost cast on a cardigan in this color the other day. So yep, that's my brioche shawl. I'm loving brioche. I can't wait to cast something else on. I kind of want to do a scrappy brioche cowl instead of anything else, like instead of a scrappy blanket. And that is living in my skeleton project bag that I made. I love it. And the next shawl is this. Yeah, I haven't touched the cardigan because I keep having to show off the pattern keeper I bought at Knit Group, so it never really doesn't get a lot of love. The next shawl, however, I have started is the Shawl Society by Helen Stewart of Curious Handmade, and that is the Fairy Hill shawl. And I'm knitting this on my Hedwig yarn that that will be released tomorrow, Monday at 7 p.m. during the shop update. Here it is caked up. It is just, I'm doing this on the ginger base, so obviously sparkle fairies, duh. Like, is that even allowed not to like knit without sparkle with a fairy shawl? I don't think it's allowed. But yeah, it's just a very subtle gray, white with black and brown and pinkish speckles. And I'm knitting it on US 6, my Knit Pro Zangs, because I love them. And I'm very close to being 10% done because I love her patterns. And I'm doing the beaded version. I don't know if you can see them. I don't know if I'm beading them right. I'm sort of winging it. But they're the beads. Maybe they pop out. Like, did I do that right? I think so. It's on the front side of the shawl. There we go. Ah, I love it. I love it so much. I'm so happy. And the beads are, where'd they go? They're Topaz, DK Topaz Chivalry beads. There's all the information. I got them on Etsy. I don't know if it's focusing. I hope that's focused. And I'm super excited for them. It's my first beaded project. I was going to do the Vildesmeer, and I bought the yarn, and I bought the beads, and then I just never cast it on. But now that I have, not that one, now that I have this kind of under my belt, I really want to cast it on, and I'm using a size 10 hook. It is my grandmother's hook. She had a lot of crochet hooks for lace beading. I don't know what this bit is. If anyone knows why this is on here, that'd be great. I'm a little curious. But very tiny, teeny little hook. Oldest crochet hook known to man. And yeah, I worked maybe an hour on that shawl so far, but I'm going to definitely put aside a good chunk once a week to work on it. The goal this year, color me crazy, is to knit all of them as they come out and to do it all in my yarn, which I think I mentioned before, but I'm just smitten with this. I mean, I'll never be able to actually wear it because it is white and I will spill coffee all over it, but I'm excited to put it on a mannequin and stare at it forever and ever and ever. I know, Audrey. And it is living in my Eldenwood Craft bag because snow owls need to live in adorable winter bags. Is that it? That's all I can show you. So those are my works in progress. I'm gonna take a sip of tea. I have some coffee Pora tea from David's. in my giant stash, which, mild tangent, I now have a giant stash of tea because the David's Tea in Westport closed down last week, and all the tea that was on the wall was kind of just up for grabs for employees because we can't send it back to corporate, so we gave it good homes. And now I have more read my lips than I know what to do with. But it's kind of like Santa's secret, so I'm not mad. Not mad. I'm out of the tea game. It's unfortunate, but it was only a temporary gig, so I'm glad I got to do it while I did. Alright, I have been doing other crafts, and I'm very excited to say, I can't bring it over to you because it's sort of in this weird janky setup right now, but I have finished spinning the singles to my loop bump, which was the Palladium colorway in 100% merino, and I am in the process of chain plying it. So normally you say, Gabby, shouldn't you chain ply all in one go? And the answer is yes, but the dogs had like a mild intervention, so I had to stop because it's like 5 or 6 ounces of fiber, and I could not, like, I finished plying that section and then I got up and then almost fell down because just my legs were so sore and cramped from being in the spinning position for so long without being used to it that they didn't know what to do and they gave up. So I have it in this janky little setup wrapped around like hooks and clothespins so I don't lose the ply or like the loop to do the chain ply. It looks like modern art. It is modern art. It's over there. My wheel now lives under the kitchen table because it has to be there at all times. But I took a video clip, so that will be showing now so you can get a little view of it. And I love it. The spinning bug has hit 110%. I want to spin all the things. I want to knit all the hand spun and I want to spin all the things. We have been sewing. Well, we sewed one dress. So the other weekend, the weekend before, Connecticut Sheep and Wool was Belfar's challenge for the SCA. And so, as one does, you have to make a new dress for your new event. So I used a vague recipe from the Tudor tailor and kind of adjusted it a little bit, / didn't finish a lot, / made my own. I just used like the general direction and construction. I didn't use their pattern pieces or anything. But should I grab it? Just kidding, it's in the car. But I will insert a video of it here and some pictures. It is a front closure with hook and eye, open skirt, sleeveless Tudor gown, and I did a like a silk apron to go underneath it because I didn't have the brain power to make a full petticoat out of it. I'm wearing velvet sleeves that I made from another gown, and the partlet, which is the white like shirt you can see with the black embroidered collar. That is my friend Margaret's. She graciously let me borrow it because I haven't really gotten the hang of the hook and eye closures for those style gowns, so you could see my corset through it. So I had to be modest and cover up my corset, which I also need to make a new one because I ripped it. Oops. So that was my sewing, and it's got the sewing bug hit. I have a Excel spreadsheet of all the everyday outfits I want to make, and like what fabric I have, what patterns I need to get, what's gonna go with what, and a game plan. I'm gonna do another Betty dress first, I think, because I have the pattern out all over the bedroom. It's everywhere, and it is a digital pattern, so I know it's not the best use of paper, but usually if I don't make a muslin out of it, I'll just recycle the pattern, and then if I need another piece or if I remake it, I'll reprint it out. But I think I'm going to try and make a muslin of this one because I do love the construction of that dress a lot. Alright. It's future Gabby! Woo! I decided to film this episode in 2 different parts. Jake got home a little bit earlier than we expected yesterday, so instead of rushing through the end of the podcast, I figured I would pause it, do it this morning, and upload it for this afternoon. So it is now Monday, May 8th, and we're going to jump right into shop update stuff. So I went over this a little bit in the last fake episode there. Oh, I'm also wearing a new me-made outfit that Adrian made. It's his Riff sweater, but it didn't fit him, so I stole it and then shrunk it accidentally. But now it fits me perfectly, so Adrian, continue knitting sweaters too short for you, and I will continue to steal them. Oh. Yes, Audrey, I know. Oh, and I'm wearing my zinnia skirt. Okay, situated. So, shop update will be happening tonight, May 8th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at uponicorgi.etsy.com, and I really hope you guys can make it. So I showed these off the last one, but we will have an update of Nightmares plus 10. I switched the name around because you can't have the plus sign be the first symbol in an Etsy listing, so fun fact, Nightmares plus 10, and we will be having, oh, my label's falling off, try and scoot him down, Hedwig. We'll also be having some Peter Rabbit. Somebody asked for it, I want to say like a week and a half ago, and I'm really sorry I didn't get back to you, but I do have it now, even though the Beatrix Potter Cal is about to end, but what better way to celebrate spring-ish weather than with Peter Rabbit? And by popular demand, Kevin the Skank will be returning. I love him. And we will also be having Warm and Cozy. I haven't had this up in the shop in a while, so I have to rescan this one. Got a little wobbly there. Yeah, so a little bit of a smaller update, but we do have a lot of stuff left over from the show, so go check it out. And if there's any colorways that you don't see that you would love to see in an update, just feel free to message me. Ravelry or Etsy would be the best bet. Instagram doesn't tell me all the time when I have new message requests, so I would say either of those two is going to be your best bet. So again, that is tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I hope you can make it. Sip of coffee. We've got our goth mug today. Coffee, because it's still pretty early. We've got some yarn warming up on the stove so we can start the dye day. A little bit of a late start. Nope, it's just downstairs. Yeah. Which leads us into life things, what I'm doing, what I'm watching, what I'm reading, what the pups are up to. They're a little bit tired because we went up to Jake's friend's condo because they all came back from Cigar Fest yesterday, so they got to play with their friend Miley, the wired-haired schnauzer. I think that's what she is. The past couple weeks we did Belfar's Challenge, which I mentioned in the sewing segment because of the new dress. That was a lot of fun. It downpoured almost the whole time, so we didn't do a lot. We mostly sat and I spun for a little bit and we knit, and we took Iron. He was the only dog that we took, so we brought him on walks and he was very well behaved, I'm proud to say. And then we did fiber festivals, Connecticut Sheep and Wool. I feel like I'm just always listing things. And then this past weekend we went to IKEA, which is always an adventure. Mama Gergs and Adrian went for the first time. I know Mom is looking for a new TV stand, and I figured Adrian could use them for like inspiration for the craft room. Not necessarily get stuff, but I had to pick up our new bathroom cabinet and sink, and I got us a patio set. I'll put a picture in here because I'm so proud of it and I'm so happy, but now it's too cold to go outside and sit in it. I have to pick up a cover for it so I can leave it outside, but have like a waterproof cover over it for when it rains. And that's what we did Saturday. Yesterday we went and saw Guardians of the Galaxy, which was amazing. That I was not expecting it to be that funny. I'm glad we went. Which will lead us into what I'm watching, which is I've been watching all of Father Brown. Watched all of it. It was amazing. Oh my god, it was the cutest little thing ever. It was it's by the BBC, so it's a very British, like, curious bystander in tiny town solves murders every day. So I love that formula for British television. Father Brown's played by Arthur Weasley. I think Mark Williams is his real name. So it was just delightful. It was so delightful. And I started watching the Great British Bake Off Masterclass with Mary Berry and Paul Hollywood. So I've got some baking ideas kind of bubbling around in my head, or yarn ideas. Like I kind of just want to do a dessert line of yarns. Maybe just scones. Maybe just a yarn line on scones. Oh, I know, you guys are so snuggly today. Thank you. I have been reading. I used to read so much, and I have not been as of late. I need to accept the fact that Kindles and audiobooks are still acceptable books. Like, it still counts. Sometimes I just can't get it through my head. But I have been reading The Other Boleyn, I think that's what it's called, by Philippa Gregory. It is the story of Anne of Cleves, Jane Boleyn, the wife of George Boleyn, and the beginning of Catherine Howard's story, all within Henry VIII, you know, my time period. So it's been really interesting. I haven't seen a lot of stories from Anne of Cleves' side. I haven't really looked for them, but I'm very intrigued to kind of peer into his other wives. And I read that, I watched that. The other thing I'm super excited to be starting is the Hannah on the Road podcast, and she is a Iron's like slowly sliding off by like one leg and also crushing Audrey with the other leg. Are you okay, bud? Are you stuck? Do you want to go on the couch? I'm gonna pick you up. Is that okay? Are you good? Is that better? Okay. Hannah Lise from the Hannah on the Road podcast is doing a, pardon my language, get shit done challenge, and I'm gonna take part. I'm gonna do it. I'm already like 2 days behind. Nothing new there. But it is a 4-week challenge to get your projects done. She gears a lot of her stuff towards like creative business owners, which I am that, and I find that super helpful because I sometimes just get so overwhelmed. All I want to do is sit in bed and watch cooking shows and pretend I don't exist. I'm hoping this challenge can help me kind of take charge of some things. I do get like imposter syndrome a little bit with this whole yarn dyeing thing. I don't know why, but I do. It's just part of who I am. So I'm using this challenge to get a project out, done and published that I have in the works, which I'm super excited to show everybody. I'm also going to use it to organize and streamline the studio office, my bedroom, and essentially overall use it as a 4 weeks to set up a schedule. Three smallish projects, but cohesively the goal is to just get done, get some work done, get everything streamlined. I'm sorry, it's really hard to concentrate when you have 40 pounds wiggling on your lap and another 30 pounds wiggling against your butt. My life. That's what she said. Well, don't sit there if you don't want to do it. So I highly suggest you go check it out. I'll put a link in the show notes to her website and the YouTube video, because she does have a YouTube podcast, and she's just so happy all the time. I love it. She is just like a little light bulb of joy. Light bulb of joy. Alright, with that, I'm going to stop rambling on you. I'm going to get to the dye pots. Squishy. Again, you can find most show notes at the Ravelry group, Once Upon a Corgi podcast. You can follow me everywhere at Gabagales. You can follow all my hand-dyed yarn at Once Upon a Corgi. And I hope you guys have a good week. I will see you next Sunday. Bye!